Alright, today we've got Phil here at Battlegrounds Cafe, all the way up from Iowa. Phil, would you like to present what you've been playing today and kind of go into the leader?
Oh boy, would I. I'm running the Gamma 1 and 2 leader from the new set that just came out, Ultimate Squad. It is by far the most fun deck I've been playing in a while.
Sure, yeah.
I'm a low-key, blue player. Been playing the game since set 1. Always tried to play the best blue leader in each set. Mostly I was playing Soul Striker, and unfortunately they nerfed that into Oblivion with the last ban list, so I had to find something new.
Sure.
And I just was drawn to this. Didn't think I would like it at first, but love it.
Awesome.
So first and foremost, it is the new Gamma 1 and 2 characters from the new movie. Front side ability is I cannot use non-red ribbon army cards to place cards into my energy. So you can't use the Zeno, Unison, other cards to ramp up. It just can't be done. On swing, draw one. Its awaken ability is that if I have a Unison with the cost specific cost of 2,
Sure.
or I have 4 or less life, I can awaken, flip one, reactivate one energy, draw a card, go down to 6 life.
Okay.
On its backside, this is the kicker. With it, same deal with the front side. It loses the ability to draw, which is kind of sucky, but it does get to draw at the end of the turn. But the beauty of this is at the end of the turn, I take 3 androids from my energy, bring them to my hand, draw 1 card from my deck, and then play up to 3 androids back into my energy in active mode.
Yes.
So essentially like SS3 Goku. And it's really fun. It's really defensive because of that. And most of the cards in the deck are all androids, so it's easy to manipulate energy. It's really fun.
Awesome. Alright, let's get into the actual cards.
Yeah. So, the foot soldiers, the ones that put in work early on, are Android 17 and 18, Rebellious Will. I run 3 of each just because I just like that even split. 17 is Barrier, 18 is Crit, so you have choices depending on the situation. Both of these can be played for 1 blue energy from your energy area. You can even tap this card to play it itself. So it feels like you're never having to overextend your energy to play it.
Yep.
So not only when you play it, your energy, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention something, the leader. Every time you play a card from your energy, you take the top card of your deck and put it into your energy.
Yeah.
So you always replace it. What's awesome about this is if for some reason I get a card into my energy that I don't want there, like a extra card or God forbid my Overwhelm, I can play this. It allows me to put the top 5 cards in my deck and swap out 1 card in my energy with one of the cards I looked at.
Okay.
So I'm always in constant control of my energy. It's really awesome. Anytime I would get a extra card in there, play one of these, boom, fixes itself. Cool. And if
my understanding, when you do that, where does the energy go? So if you flip an Overwhelm and then you play this, where does the Overwhelm go?
So you take that card back into the 5 cards you drew, and then you put it back. You put it at the bottom of your deck and then shuffle.
Okay, cool.
So these essentially are 1-drop 15 kits.
Yep.
So they put in work. They have a limit 1 for each, but essentially it means you can play 1 of each 17 and 18 per turn.
Sure.
So really fun, puts a lot of aggression. You essentially don't have to wait until you at least have 3 energy to do so. Anything more than that, you're not going to be able to replace it with your leader's ability.
Did you think 3-3 was the right split on those?
To be honest, yeah. I didn't have any issues. Most of the games, I played a couple games where it felt like critical was more important.
Yeah.
I played some games that barrier was more important. Having that even split, just make sure I'm able to see them when I want to.
Sure. Okay.
These cards are fun because you'll never actually ever play them.
Yeah.
14 and 15, the Revengers. Essentially, this is a once per turn. You pitch it with the top 5 cards of your deck for a Red Ribbon Army card and add it to your hand, or the Android 17 and 18 Unisys, which this deck needs.
Yeah.
So essentially, anytime I see these in hand, I immediately drop them, search the top 5. You can grab like 90% of this deck from this. Plus, you want to have these in the drop area when you have your Unison out because they're the combo fodder. And I'll get to that a bit later.
Okay.
Now, the boss who put in work today, Cell, the Ultimate Bio Android. When I first built this deck, I only ran 2 because I thought that was enough. But the more I played it, the more I've added. So then I added 3, and then I'm like, no, I'm not seeing it still. I need to have 4. 4 is the perfect number. 3 at the absolute least, but 4 is perfect because you're always going to see it. Sure. Essentially, you always want to put this card into your energy because you always want to play it from your energy. You can play it from your energy by paying 1 blue, 1 green, and 2 of any color. You play it, and it essentially board wipes your opponent, takes everything on their side of the field, not ignoring barrier, and puts it at the bottom of their deck. This came in great clutch actually against you at one point. It also worked out against my second matchup, which was Cell.
Oh, yeah.
So, great stuff. And not only that, is a 30k dual attack that when it attacks once per turn, if my opponent were to counter-play it, or counter-attack it, they bottom deck a card.
Yep.
So it just adds constant pressure. My last match, I played this card 3 times because they kept warping it, but I kept putting them into my energy, so I kept playing them turn after turn.
Cell after cell.
It's so good. You throw a Sensu Bean on there.
Oh, yeah.
You have 35k dual attack. The Unison also beats it by another 5, so you can be swinging up to 40 and then 35k for the second attack.
Yep.
It's so good. You have to run 4. This card also puts in work against red and any kind of floodgates. Android 18, let the battle begin. Played this against you actually. Unfortunately, I did play it wrong, so my bad on that one.
It's all good.
But essentially, this card is a 15k blocker counterplay that costs 1 on my opponent's turn.
On your opponent's turn.
Yes, that's where I messed up. I played it on my turn.
Yeah.
Which I, once again, my bad.
It's all good, yeah.
In the heat of the moment.
Right.
It essentially stops your floodgates. It stops any card of 4 or less from being played. Puts it to the bottom of your opponent's deck instead.
And it's a blocker that you can.
Yep. So you can use it as aggression at 15k or as a blocker.
Yep.
Essentially, you're getting 2 for 1 out of it. It's great, especially with counterplays and floodgates becoming more of a thing lately in the meta. So
Awesome.
It absolutely is worth it. This is still my MVP for defense.
Yeah.
4 copies of Android 14's Inorganic Horus. It essentially is Gamma's exclusive floodgate.
Yep.
It cannot be played in any other blue deck. It has to be a Red Ribbon Army leader. Essentially, you play it, discard, your opponent cannot attack for the turn unless they bottom deck 2 cards from hand each time. It is susceptible to a lot of counter plays or counters, but if it goes off, it 90% of the time saves me.
Yeah, because it does have to be played in order to get the auto. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But it is worth it. Once again, it's Android, so even if it goes into my energy for whatever reason, I can just grab it out with my ability, put it in hand, basically leave it there until I need it.
Yeah, you can protect it against red by putting it in your energy and then using it when you need it.
Exactly. Exactly. One of the only dual color cards in the deck, Android 17-18 Limitless Energy. The more I play this deck, the more I realize this card is absolutely cracked.
Oh yeah.
Normally, I was always playing it from my energy. You play it, I get that. Essentially, it's energy exhaust is not a thing. If my leader is a Red Ribbon Army card, which it is, I thought I could only play it from my energy. Until I realized its activate main is just 1 blue, 1 green. I can play it from my hand or energy. So on turn 2, if I'm awakened, which is for the most part I want to be awakened by turn 2, I can play this card. It's going to immediately get replaced, and I have a dual attack 20k that bounces a card from my opponent's side of the board that has equal or more than my opponent's current energy.
Yeah.
So turn 2, I can essentially get this out.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Is it bottom deck or back to hand?
Yeah, sorry, it's bottom deck.
Bottom.
Bottom deck.
Bottom deck, yeah, cool.
These are awesome. You always want to put them into your energy for the most part because you can play them from your energy, and certain cards in this deck need green energy, so it's just better to have them there. Maybe you can keep one in your hand if you want to trick your opponent, but it's such a good card.
Sure.
The super combos I ran today. One of the Android 17 and 18 Team Up Attack, and 3 copies of Bionic Blitz.
Oh, sure.
Bionic Blitz, it's immediately active. It doesn't have any energy requirements or life requirements. You play it, you get the 10k, your opponent bomb decks a card. This, I ran in here 1 just because it's the SPR of the new super combo, but it also untaps an opponent's energy, my energy, during my opponent's turn. So if I have 1 energy and I need a second one, this is great. I get that 10k, plus I untap 1. Because what I want to run with these is the Android 16 Steadfast Comeback.
Yeah.
This card, I barely ever get to use because immediately when I play it, they counterplay it, they counterattack it. Sorry, counter it. Counterplay it.
Yeah.
So it usually always goes to the drop area immediately when I play it.
Yeah.
But the few times I do get to play it, it's really fun.
And then it gets absorbed by baby.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey, that's what you do.
Yeah.
So I love this card because not only with it, your opponent bomb decks a card, and then they drop a card.
Yeah.
So essentially for 2 energy, because it costs blue and a green, your opponent loses 2 cards.
Yeah.
It's also a blocker with revenge and dual attack.
That's so super big though.
Yeah. It's the only Android 16 card I run in this deck now, but it puts in that work.
Sure.
My opponent has to get rid of it because if they don't, it's going to cause issues.
Yeah.
Like I said, very few times it stays on the board, but when it does work.
Right.
3 copies of Realm of the Gods, Beerus Destroys. I didn't really get to play this a whole lot today. Unfortunately, it didn't come up a whole lot where I knew I was going to use it, so I typically would side this card out, but it's a great card. It's a 1-cost, 10k boost. On my turn, I can choose one of my opponent's battle cards with a cost greater than their energy and send it back to, put it to the bottom of my opponent's deck. And during my opponent's turn, it's a draw 1. Get rid of a 2-cost or less. So it's mainly there for like silver bullets for blue, or if they have a 1-drop that leads into something they need, like Cell.
Yeah,
like Cell. That's great option. But unfortunately, a lot of my matchups today just did not see fit to play this, so I usually sideboard it out. But in most cases, it's great.
It'd be good against Bulma.
Oh, you know what? It did. I forgot about that. Man, Bulma. I'm so glad you played it.
Yeah.
I run 3 Sensu Beans in this deck. I thought about 4, but I think 3 is plenty. Because you're constantly already untapping a whole lot of energy at the end of your turn.
Yeah. You're always going to have 3 open.
Yeah. So this one was mainly just as a tech card for my dual attackers to give them that extra 5k boost, plus give me 1 extra energy if need be. I think 3 is a solid number.
Sure.
Then 3 copies of Dimension Magic, because obviously it's blue, but that, negate attack, untap 2, blue is still so good. Don't run 4. Similar to the same reason Sensu Bean, like, I'm constantly untapping energy. It doesn't really make sense to have a full play set, but Dimension Magic is a must for any blue deck. Chilled Army, I got you with this one today. This one, yes, it's the token negate of the deck. It's just, negate attack, play a token with blocker. You can take a card from life to play it if you have 5 or less life. What's funny is I have one in hand when you saw it, but then I drew another one from life. And that's how I played a second one. And bamboozled you for a second, but
1 second.
It was not enough to save me, though.
Yeah, the Gita Secret Rare, it does stuff.
I forgot about that. Man, it hurts. It hurts so bad. The Unison is incredibly important in this deck. I run 4 copies of the Android 17 and 18 Teaming Up,
Yeah.
and 2 Blue Unison. At first I wasn't running Boo, but then I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's a dingus move. Boo Unison is
So good.
required in Blue. But this is like the MVP, the main thing of the deck, except in our match I didn't see it until turn 6. RNG gods were not nice to me today.
No.
But when it goes off, usually on turn 2, it is a 15k, it doesn't have a +1, but its ability, which is amazing in my opinion, the first attack of every turn, my turn and my opponent's turn, it adds 1 marker to it, and then I combo a 5k blue
Mono blue
card,
card.
mono blue card for my drop area, which usually, like I said, I have this in the drop area by turn 1. So by turn 2, I have combo fodder to work with. So even though I play it for 2, on my turn it goes up to 3, and then when my opponent attacks, it goes to 4. So it's constantly beefing itself up, and its big ability, which is -4, it gets 10k power and dual attack for the turn. So usually this will be active by turn 3, if I'm playing everything right. Essentially, this deck really just pushes my opponent way more than any blue deck should. It's very aggro.
Yeah.
And I will just swing in twice with that. If they KO it next turn, cool, I'll just play another one. Or usually later in the game, I'll want to play the Boo Unison.
Yeah.
So this is great for early turn, like early game. This is your late game.
Yep.
But it's so good. You can search for it specifically with the Android 14,
Oh, yeah.
15. It's just, and you can play it from your energy as well. If you, for some reason, have it in your energy, pay 2 blue, you can play it.
Nice.
So,
That doesn't trigger your leader effect, right? Or it does?
what's it?
It doesn't trigger your leader effect, right? Because it's on an Android, or is it just when...
If your leader is blue, play this card for my energy. I think
Yeah.
it...
When a blue card is played from your
Yep.
energy, yeah, okay, so it doesn't trigger your leader effect.
There you go. Good job, Ken.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, it's awesome. There's a lot of ways to play it, as long as you see it. Like I said, I didn't see mine until turn 6,
Right.
which is
Yeah, that was rough.
yeah, I thought I put up a good fight regardless.
Yep.
And finally, we all know the SCR Baby Hatch. I recently just got this maybe a week ago.
Oh, really?
Because I was being a dingus and was like, I'm not paying $200 for a single card. That's just too much money. I came into some money. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. My buddy Derek, shout out to him. He had 2 of these, and I asked him, let me buy your spare copy.
Oh, yeah?
It was running for like $230, $250. He sold me it for $200.
Nice.
So
Great job.
Yeah, this has saved me so many games. It's
Just said stop. My turn again.
yeah, exactly. Especially when I played you, I had Gale in my hand. I'm like, I need to get to turn 7. You're attacking me. Cool. No.
Yeah, exactly.
And then my overwhelm of the game is Scientist Fu.
Sure.
I low-key love this card. I played it a lot when it first came out, especially with a lot of the normal overwhelm cards being banned.
Yeah.
It's become my new card of choice.
Yeah.
It's a 1-cost, draw 2, double strike.
Yeah.
I do have to have 7 cards in my drop, but that's not too hard to do.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Just bought this card today from the shop. We're foiled out, so gotta flex a little bit on the deck.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people have the choice of pretty much Scientist Fu or Mira Assault from the Skies, but
Right.
you're already untapping anyway. Well,
Exactly.
not untapping, replacing energy. So.
Right. I thought about that
Yeah.
one, but the draw 2 is
Yeah.
too good.
Too good. Yeah.
Now, my sideboard, that was, it came in clutch a bit.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, Dirty Burst for those
Oh, yeah.
pesky red U7 and Cell big swingers.
Yep.
Saved me against your GTG, right?
Yep.
Love it. It also saved me against Gogeta Zeno for my last
Oh,
match.
yeah.
So that was awesome. Came in clutch. Intoxicated by Justice. Shout out to Dane, local guy here. You've seen him on the channel before. He put this in his sideboard for the blue silver bullets, and that had a little light bulb in my head off. Essentially, negate the attack, then choose one of my opponent's 1-drop cards, ignoring barrier and bottom jacket. That's what I would always use it for, because blue silver bullets are a pain in the ass. I want them gone. This is a great card to get rid of that.
Yep.
2 Android 18 Never-Ending Energy, just for those hand discard decks. I'm always tapping 3 at the end of my turn, so this is a perfect card to use that 3 energy for. Get a 20k body, draw a 2. Plus, since it's blue android, I can mess with it in my energy if it ever gets into my energy, or play it in there and bring it into my hand when I need it. Sure. So, very good utility card. 2 of the Super Saiyan Gotenks, Absolute Unison. So this
that card in a while.
Right, this is mainly for barrier matchups because yellow loves their barrier cards, and essentially what I would do is I would swap out the blue Unison for this, because when I play it, I can neg 3, choose 2 of my opponent's battle cards ignoring barrier, and put them to the bottom of their deck, and it is a dual attack 20k blocker, so I can still get 2 swings in, 1 swing in a defense. It's mainly just because of that barrier. I didn't play the yellow decks today, so I didn't see play, but if I did, would have been in there. 2 copies of Borgos. Because once again, if I ever play blue, I want to have my own silver bullet.
Right.
Essentially stops them from switching energy to active mode using counter skills. Gotta play it. Always gotta be prepared for that mirror match. Now here are the one that I play. Kotsukai, for once again those red matchups, or just people that like to play a lot of counter plays. Didn't come up today, but it is there if need be. And it's a good way to mess with your hand a bit too. Yeah. If you need to get rid of cards that you need to cycle stuff out. Yep. Absolute Release Ball. It's a great card because one of them always going to have dual attack as like dual color energy. So it's always going to have that option to free play if my life is low enough. But essentially it's another counterplay. Because pesky counterplays need to be dealt with. That's right. Tail.
Ooh, Tail did work today against me, yeah.
Yep. That I waited until turn 7 because that's when she goes off. She is a deflect dual attack. She becomes a dual attack double strike barrier. And luckily, yeah, you threw that Violent Rays on it and stopped it. But it wiped your whole board, which is great because Bulma's awesome. Or just any player with a huge board, wipe it all clean. So all cards are buried. Android 17, Turning the Tide.
Oh, yeah.
It's a blue deck. It's androids. It just makes sense. I've never gotten the card to go off right. I've tried. I'm still trying. Practice makes perfect. But yeah, I decided into my last game. I almost played it, but I didn't because I drew this card that I also sided in and was able to get that last burn win.
Yeah.
I had this originally in the deck, in the main deck, Android 21 Bad Omen, but I just never saw it. It never went off, so I just thought, you know what, might as well just throw it into the sideboard for those matchups that I know are going to take a while, and it did. I played against Hatchiak for my last game. She went down to her last life, and I drew this on my turn, and I'm like, this is my moment.
This is my time.
I played it, got that last, I printed that last life, and got my 1 win of the day.
Awesome, man. Well, I hope you had fun today.
Oh, it was really fun. I got to play a lot of people I don't normally play. And, got a lot of decks that I just don't get to play against a whole lot. Played against you first round with Bulma. That was a very close game.
Yep.
But I couldn't squeak out that last couple of hits that I needed. Then, like you said, you Vegeta Secret Rared me into Oblivion.
It's just too good of a card.
It absolutely is. I forgot that it can blow up stuff.
Yeah.
So I played my other token negate. I'm like, I'm going to survive. I did not survive. Second round was against Cell. I just got resource deprived too quickly, and I never recovered. But it was a close game still.
Yeah.
And then finally was against Hatchiak, and it just, unfortunately, I was a bad matchup because my cells were 9 cost. I can get around Hatchiak's ability, and then going to 1 life was a bad mistake.
Yeah. Even your Unison's a dual attacker. Like you just keep on swinging in the head.
Yep. Unison was free to attack. Leader, Cell. I played this even.
Yep.
It was a bad matchup for her, but it was still a good game. Yeah. All games today were great.
Cool. Well, any shout outs you want to give? Do you want to plug your own channel?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So shout out to, once again, my buddy Derek. He runs everything where I live in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. For selling me a spare copy of Hatchiak. shout out to Dane and my brother Mike, who's a local here. He for like helping me go over my board, my sideboard, and my deck, and just kind of giving me ideas for the deck. Shout out to my team where I'm representing. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, First Turn Games.
First Turn Games in Cedar Rapids. That's who I play with, and last but not least, my own YouTube channel, Phil Plays. I've been doing a lot more Dragon Ball Super content on there, some video game reviews, gameplay stuff like that, but definitely want to do more Dragon Ball Super because I've just been on a kick lately. And shout outs finally to Battleground Cafe because these guys are legit.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate your time.